Hey folks, this is me again. I'm doing another release notes video about Xano. I'm a little behind, took some vacation, and I'm just trying to catch up now. So I'm gonna go right in. I'm gonna dive right in. So a big announcement last week was obviously the fundraising from Xano. So they raised $5 million. So I'll let you read all the information about it. It's very cool that they were able to do that for the product, the community, and all that. I'm gonna really focus on the release notes. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time talking about that. I stopped at 1.46.1 last time, so we're gonna do 1.46.2 today. As a reminder, I've already kind of done a video in French about it. Every other week, I do a live stream in the No Code Friends Twitch channel, where I typically do the same thing I'm doing now in an hour-long format in French. So if you know how to speak French, you can follow that along. But otherwise, I'm trying to summarize it in this hopefully quicker video. Okay, so 1.46.2, let's see, we have 3 improvements. I might not get to the bug fix. I realize I'm improving the format as I go, and I'm curious to know what you guys think, so let me know. But I might just focus on the improvements to keep the video quite short. Okay, so first improvement, the run and debug results are now more friendly when you're displaying a lot of data. So it used to be that if you were returning a lot of data, it was not necessarily friendly. That probably means that it was maybe like timing out or something like that. What you can do now is use, like I'll show you what it does and you'll understand why it's a good thing. So I have this table here that I just pre-filled with, I just type like CSV example, large data, whatever it is. And it gave me this, actually, you know what? CSV example data, I can show it to you, that'd be easier. So it gave me this like New Zealand government stats or whatever. So that's what I've been trying. So we're gonna do it together. I've already done it, but I'll show you the process because it's kind of interesting. You can add a table and you can import a CSV. So you won't see this pop up, but essentially I can now in my file system pick the file I want. It is. It's gonna send me name. I'm gonna launch. I'm gonna call it New Zealand. I actually don't know what it is about New Zealand, but it doesn't really matter for this presentation. I'm gonna upload it. It's gonna take a little of time. You can see like the CSV is being processed. So right now it's already done. That was much faster than I thought. Okay. So that should be big enough to illustrate that now in the API, I can add a new endpoint that's going to just do a get of all the record in that table. Here it is. Just going to call it New Zealand, save. Okay, and what it does is just gets all the records. So the big thing now, let me update. Where are we here? Oops, sorry, let me go back. I should have talked about it. There was this little bar at the top that said, hey, your import is ready, update Xano. So that's what I clicked on. Took me back to the kind of dashboard. So now I came back here. So if I do the run and debug on that database, on that table, sorry, it takes a few seconds. But then if I scroll down, you'll see there's this plus 5945 more. So you can click on it and see a few more records. So I'm not 100% sure because I did not quite run into that before, but I'm assuming that's what they meant by more user-friendly, more friendly for displaying large array of data. So if that's the case, that's great. That's a good first improvement. Thank you very much, Xano, for doing that. Moving on to the second one, add-ons were very sensitive to input errors. And so if you had one add-on that was broken, all of them would break and you were not able to use them. So I'm not exactly sure how I can demonstrate that, particularly now that it's fixed, but I'll still show you like how to do a couple of add-ons, because at the very least, that'll introduce you to the concept of add-on and how to use multiple add-ons and why it's good. So let's create a small example. Um, I'm going to add a table that's going to be called products, and add another table. Let's say I'm going to give it a name. Product is going to be chocolate. Okay. And then one more, just banana. Okay. And then I'm going to do another product for merchant or brands. There we go. Let's do, oh, so it's taking a little bit. Let me refresh. Oh, I was clicking the wrong thing. Sorry. Same thing. We're going to give the brand a name. We're going to call it Nestle. What are the name of chocolate? Do we know? Banco, French brand. We discussed that in the French live stream before. That's why I remember that brand. Okay, and now I'm going to say, well, this is supposed to be a product, so anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to add a reference to the brand, and we're going to say that chocolate comes from Banco, and then banana come from Nestle. Those examples are silly and not even accurate, but you just get the example of relationship. And then what else? I'm going to create maybe one more for country, where it's coming from. And let's do a different table. I'm going to do a country table. Countries. Give it a name. And the first one is going to be France, and the second one is going to be USA. Okay, and so now when I go to my product, which is kind of my main table, first of all, let me get rid of this one. I'm going to do it the right way. We're going to create a reference to country. And here we go. This one is going to be USA. This one is going to be France. So that's it. We just created a few examples with 3 tables. I'm going to make it even clearer by removing those tables that we don't need now. So in settings, you can just delete. If you copy paste the name of the table, it'll delete it. Just cleaning up my table so it's a little bit clearer for you all watching. I'm going to remove that New Zealand one. Okay, so now we've got product, countries, and brand, and they have a relationship between them. And we're going to use add-ons when I'm, for example, querying all the products. I also want to know for each product, I have the information about the country they're coming from and the brand that they belong to. The reason add-ons are important is that without add-ons, you would have to get all the product with that contain the country ID and the brand ID, and then do another call to get the country specific information, and then yet another call to do the brand specific information. And so with add-ons, you can essentially extend the response from product that you're going to send to your user with those information about the country, the brand, without having to make another call, right? So let's do it. I'll illustrate how you do that. This is my brand. This one this is the endpoint for the database that we just created, so I can delete it. Here we go. So we've got brands, country, New Zealand, same thing. We're going to delete it because I'm not using it anymore. And product. So product, let's do a get. This is returning all my products. You see chocolate, banana, and that's it. And you get that ID for brand and that ID for country. And so you have to make another call if you want to figure out what brand it is and what country it is. It wouldn't be great if you could here inline know the name of the brand or here know the name of the country, so you don't have to do additional calls. That's what add-ons are. So the way you create add-on, you go to query all records, and in the output, you see that's where you format what it's going to look like, what the response is going to look like. You have this add-on option. So click on add-on, and we're going to say, we're going to create one for, those are previous add-ons that I created, so you can ignore them. We're going to create a new one, and we're going to do one for brand. And we're just going to return a single item. You can do a lot of things, like you don't have to return the name of the brand. You could just respond like if it exists, if it's there, how many are there, and things like that. We're going to keep it simple and just do a single item. We're going to keep all the default settings, so we're not going to make it complicated. But you have a lot of options to customize things around here. And now, so you can see I've extended my response with this underscore brands. That's going to not only show the ID that I had before, but now I'm going to show the created time and the name. So that's for brand. Let's see what it looks like. And then we'll do the one for countries. So if I run it, now see, brand is telling me it's a Benko brand. And this one is a Nestle brand. All right, so let's quickly do another one. Again, Creole Records, output, add-on. And you can also do an add-on inside the add-on if there were an ID that you want to extend. I'm going to do just the one at the high level by adding one for which one do we not do? Countries, single item, again, same settings. I encourage you to take a look at those settings, but I'm trying to keep it as straightforward as possible. We're going to save that and then try it again. Let's see. Here we go. So I've got my brand add-on that tells me the name of the brand and my country add-on that tells me the name of the country. And same thing for the other product. So those are add-ons. It seems that it used to be sensitive when there were an error, and now when one breaks, the other does not. So I'm not completely sure how to demonstrate that, again, particularly now that it's fixed. But let's, for example, say that I'm going to delete this country. So the reference to it is going to break, and so the add-on is going to return nothing. So now I only have France. Okay, and then so see, now the reference to the country is broken. And I'm going to remove Nestle as well to break another one. France, Nestle. Okay. So now if I go back to my product, I see this reference is broken and this reference is broken. So what is going to happen when I use an add-on in the response? Let's take a look. I'm going to go back to product, my get method, and here it is. I'm going to run it. And so the first one, the brand worked, but the country was broken. Remember, I removed the USA. So it only returned the brand and nothing else. This one is the opposite. I kept the country, but I removed the brand. I removed the Nestle brand. Excuse me. So this one only returned the country. See? So now I'm not 100% sure that was broken before, but at least it sounds like this is working really well now. So this is how you use robust add-ons. Here we go. All right, last one. This one is kind of cool. So that's kind of also why I wanted to go pretty quick and do this one instead. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep this video under like 20 minutes. So we only have like 5-ish minutes to discuss this. But let me do a brand new starts from scratch, brand new endpoint. I want to talk about diff. So here's the update. The update says the improvement is the diffs and intersection. I'm going to focus on diffs just to keep things simple for now, because it's kind of the same behavior for both. But so diffs on arrays now support nested object instead of only scalars. So scalars are like one dimension. So you've got like an array of 1, 2, 3. That's one dimension. Nested objects are like more complex structure where you can have a dictionary in it, you can have like a key value pair, you can have a lot more thing in it. It's not as one dimension as just 1, 2, 3. So let's try to do a diff on a scalar, and then we'll try to do a diff on a nested object. So input, I'm going to send it to input, and they're going to be, I'm going to make it JSON. That will be, okay, easy. So foo, and then another, there's an input for bar. Now I'm going to create a new variable, the thing that I'm going to return. It's going to be the response. I'm going to call it Baz. And essentially what this is going to be foo with the filter. This is how you do the diff. You use a filter on that input. I'm going to search for diff, and here it is. Return the entries from the first array, so my foo array, that are not in the second array, my bar array. Only values are used for matching. Okay, so it is. And oh yeah, so you're gonna do a diff with the second array. Sorry, so foo bar. Here it is. Sweet. Did I give it a name? Oh yeah, I gave it a name, Baz. So we're creating a variable called Baz, and it's taking the first JSON array called foo and it's doing a diff with the second JSON array called bar. Okay, let's save that, and then we're going to return that Baz variable that we just created. Let's try it out. So I've got my foo, I've got my bar. It's a JSON, so I can do whatever I want with it. Like I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two different array. There is no union, nothing in there, no intersection in those. So it just returned the first one because I did not. The diff didn't have to remove anything from first array because none of those elements were in the second array. Now, if I do 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 4, 5. Now it should remove the 3 because it's in the second array. So it should be just 1 and 2. Here it is. All right, great. That works really well. Now we're entering we're going to complexify it. And disclaimer, when I did that before last week on that French live stream, I did run into something, not so much an issue, but something I didn't quite understand. So I'll try to demonstrate it here, and maybe I'll reach out to the Xano community. Maybe they can help me better understand it. But so here it is. So what if here I have what if I do I didn't mean to do that. Here we go. What if I do 1? Oh, I kind of back in order again. Fuba. Okay, 1. Oof, I know it's a little difficult. 2 and 3. You'll make sense hopefully when you see it written down. Okay, and then foo bar, and this one is going to be. Oh, it should not be like that. It should be like this. Getting there, and then this one is going to be 3. 4 and 5. Okay. So now instead of a scalar, we have that dictionary essentially, which are key value associations. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So what happened here? It should still remove the 3 because it occurs in the second array, and it does. So now I've got 1 and 2. So 3 is being removed because it's already here. So if I call this one 6, for example, now I should get 1, 2, 3, right? Because it does not count, it does not remove it. Now, what if I do different key but the same value? So the diff is being done on a value, and I think we saw that. Let me go back. I think we learned that when we clicked on this, it says only values are used for matching. So this is why, go back here, the value is the same. So you're going to remove it from the first array. So we're going to get 1 and 2. Here we go. But if the value is not the same, let's get 6, then it's not going to remove it. That's why I have now 1, 2, 3. Even if the name might be the same, as long as the value is not, even though the key might not be the same, as long as the value is the same, as long as the value is not the same, it's not going to return it. So like here, the key is the same, but the value, which is what matters, is different. So it's still going to return 1, 2, 3. It's not going to remove it. 1, 2, 3. But now if I do the same value but with a different name, now it should be working. So it's only going to return 1 and 2. Here we go. And then obviously when both are correct, both are the same, that's I get 1, 2. But this thing essentially doesn't matter. Now, this is great. There's the one thing I realized when I did it last week is I'll show you what is odd to me, and you can explain to me what I'm doing wrong. What if instead of this single digit, I do a list of um, integers, 4, 3, 4, 5. What do you think is going to happen now? The value is the same. So I'm assuming I'm only going to get 1 and 2, or more specifically, because it returned the value is going to be this 111 and 222. Let's try it out. 111 and 222. Great, that's what I expect. This, as we've seen, doesn't matter. I can even like not giving a name. Nobody cares. It will do the same thing. 111, 223. Oh wait, what? Sorry, let me take a step back. I went a little too fast here. So if it's 3, it should be just 1 and 2. So, okay. Now if I rename that, thought we observed that that didn't matter. Only on the value. Okay, so yeah. Oh, but for some reason, so if I call it 6, it works because it's only using that, which is already here. So that's just 1 and 2. But if I do it underscore, that doesn't work. Oh no. Was it maybe one F 2 of those? Oh yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but that kind of breaks everything. It's okay. That's not really, that's me trying to be silly. Okay, now we see 1 and 2. Here's the interesting thing though. If that is not the same, so if I call it actually, so that still works. 1 and 2. Okay. Now if that list is not the same, then it should not work. So I'm going to have now 1, 2, and 3s. 1, 2, and 3s. But here's the interesting part. If the first one is 3, so let me, I'm sure. Okay. Oh man, that is so many odd things in here. So let's try again. This is not the same, so everything is being returned. If I call this one 3, it's still not the same, so it should return 1, 2, 3, and it's just returning 1 and 2. But that seems to only be the case if I'm changing the first one. So now it's saying it's the same. Why does it say it's the same? What? It's not the same? And here it is the same. What? So if I say 6, then if I do 6, it's like, okay, those two are not the same. Okay. But if I change this one to 3, those two are the same. And therefore, it's being removed from this one. So I'm confused a little bit. Is it just that at least one need to be equal? And then what happened with the key? Does the key still matter? Like if it's 6, definitely not the same. So all 3 are being returned. If it's 3, same key but different values, so not the same. But if I do it like this, okay, not the same. If I call it like this, the same. So it's not only as long as 1 is in the thing here, it's going to think it's the same. But also, if the name is the same, for some reason, that does make a difference. Anyway, I'm a little bit confused with the edge case. Admittedly, none of that really matters. It's really edge cases. But I'm curious to throw it out there and see what I'm doing wrong. But the one thing to keep in mind, which is the most important thing, is that, as we saw, not only the div works on scalars, but also on nested object, which is really the thing that matters. Those HKs are pretty rare. All right, let's see. I think that's it for today. I might not take the time to go through all the bug fixes. But if there's one that you particularly care about and want to get a little bit more detail about, trying to scan them quickly, let me know. I'm happy to do an add-on, like a follow-up video on that release. And that's it. Thank you very much. I will see you again. If you know to speak French, you can join our No Code Friends Twitch channel, which is just situated at Twitch/slash No Code Friends. And every other Thursday, I do a little office hours in French for Xano. So join us there. That'd be fun. And then additionally, if you need a little bit of help with your Xano project, let me know. I do a little bit of Xano coaching as well as freelancing. I'm happy to just discuss with you. Go to that page, which is a better link for it is this link here, gjoverger.com/Xano coaching. I'm happy to do like a 15, 30 minutes, just introductory chat to talk about your project. And that's it. Yeah, thanks again. And congrats again, Xano, on raising $5 million. That's awesome for the community and the future of the best no code backend tool out there. See you, folks.